Rev up your engine! Now, I don't like Kias because they don't generally last like Toyotas and Hondas, hundreds of thousands of miles. They have engine problems, transmission problems. So, what's the story with this thing? Because this thing has 252,000 miles. He's the original owner. It doesn't burn oil. It's got the original engine and transmission. How on earth is that possible? Now, numero uno, go to the VIN number. The VIN number tells you a lot. In this case, it starts with a K. That means it's made in Korea, which is what you want. It even says up here, manufactured in Korea. The 9 of 14, so that makes it a 2015. Now, if it says 145, it's made in the United States. If it says 2 was made in Canada, and Canadians do a pretty good job building cars in Canada. My Matrix is made in Canada. But if it says 3, it's made in Mexico. And my advice is run. Do not buy a car made in Mexico, especially a Kia. Now, some of them, it's relatively rare. If it says J, it's made in Japan. And of course, those are good too. You know? Check that first. This one was made in Korea. 250,000 miles, original engine. Now, how come this thing isn't burning oil when a bunch of other ones do? Was it purely the luck of the draw? No, it wasn't, because my video I made the other day, poor guy in London, Ontario in Canada, his engine blew up, and the Kia dealer said they'd fix it, but the Kia Motor Company said, no, that's the wrong warranty, you're over the warranty, and they wouldn't fix his car when they were supposed to. But this, as you can see right here, 1.8. This is a 1.8 liter engine that they really do not have problems with. Here is a car with 250,000 plus miles. Doesn't burn oil, gets 40 miles a gallon. Now, I can just about guarantee you, if this had been the 2 liter, made in 2015, this engine would be burning oil, or it probably would have definitely blown up by now. And Kia may or may not have fixed it. They have an extended warranty, but as usual, extended warranties, they got so many excuses. Or they'll make you come and say, we'll do an oil consumption test. Oh, it's not burning enough oil, we don't care. Or they'll actually fix it, or put a used engine in. And then when that one breaks, I say, well, you already got one, you don't get a second one. These 1.8 liter engines, they're not race cars, but they last 250-something thousand miles, original owner. You really can't complain. That's Toyota-esque mileage there. The AC still blows cold. Most of the parts are still original, except at about 177,000 miles, he had to replace the number 2 ignition coil. You bolt it off, bolt it on, buy another one. No big deal. If they made all the Kias like this, I wouldn't be bad-mouthing them all the time. But unfortunately, they don't. And especially today, most of the Kias you buy in the United States are made in Mexico. And the quality just isn't there. And even the plant they have in the United States, they had engine problems with those. They had some kind of faulty machine they were using building them. And if you've been watching my videos and looking at the news, you'll see how they got 12, 14-year-old kids making parts for their cars in Alabama. Maybe, you know, they should rethink the way they're doing things and go back to South Korea and build them there instead of mass producing them here and in Mexico poorly. Now, he did mention he changed the serpentine belt just recently. He figured 250,000 miles. Well, I better change the belt. It didn't break or anything. It wasn't even making noise. But what the heck? You might as well exchange it every 250,000 miles so you don't get stranded, right? Take this goofy beauty cover off so we can look inside. And what we see is modern enough, but it's not insanely modern. It has coil on plug. He changed one of these. But it's got normal fuel injection system. Look at that. So he's getting 40 miles a gallon with regular fuel injectors. Why mess with success? Simpler. Easy to work on if you need to, but they didn't need any work yet. Sometimes they go too far in technology. In this particular car, it's got modern technology. You get 40 miles a gallon, doesn't burn oil, but it doesn't have that insane level of technology. Because let me tell you, when I see engines like Ford EcoBoost engine with twin turbos and GDI, if they make it to this kind of mileage, normally they don't, and the turbos go or the engine goes. They don't normally last that long. But when they do start to break down, man, Fixing them is just insanity. You've seen my fancy computers. I got to analyze 300-400 parts of data, try to figure out what's going wrong with the system because they are so complex. This is a normal fuel injection system. It's not super complex. It doesn't have high pressure fuel injections with over 1,000 psi. They got like 55 psi. They're going to last longer and they still get good gas mileage. I do have to tell you one thing. That's the truth about this car. Yes, it has 250,000 miles, but most of it is highway driving. When he goes to work, he goes 30 miles on a highway one way, highway speeds, 30 miles back. To visit his daughter, he goes all the way out to another state. He puts all highway mileage on. So his 250,000 miles of highway is probably equivalent to maybe 40,000 or 50,000 stop and go city mileage, because my tax accountant in Houston years ago, she had a Kia, but she only put 66,000 miles on it and it started to fall apart because that was all in Houston, mainly downtown, going back and forth in town. Once in a while they go to Galveston, it's 50 miles away, but most of it was all in town driving. And after that 66,000 miles, believe me, the car was falling apart. Transmission was going out, the engine burned oil, it had electrical failure. But this is highway driving, and you're talking about 7 years of highway driving, 250,000 miles. So that'll tell you, either he's driving around the block forever or he just does trips on the highway. Now we'll go inside, and yeah, it's an economy car. No arguing it, but doesn't look bad. Black and silver trim. We started up. It sure doesn't sound like a car that's got 250,000 miles, but there it is. 252,384. And in this particular car, it is not a CVT. It's a 6-speed transmission, which is better. It's an actual transmission that's automatic with gears and 6 speeds. It is not a CVT transmission. It's got a reasonable amount of space in the back seat. It's not that tiny. But his big question is, how much longer does he have to drive this thing? Will it last longer? And he does have a check engine light on, so let's check it all out. Now in this case, the OBD plug's hiding here. They want to be sneaky, so we'll plug it in. Away we go. We're gonna try this new scanner out. 2015, 1.8, it knows all that. And we do diagnosis. I know the ABS isn't working because it's got a light on. He doesn't really care about that, and the tire pressure monitoring system too. He doesn't care about that. He's not going to buy the little sensors. He just checks the tire pressure with the tire gauge. We don't care about occupant detection. That's why the airbag light's on. What we really want to do is see the engine fault. Steering angle sensor. Okay. Sensor in here is wearing out. That system isn't working. The ABS system isn't working right. On these older cars, often the systems break down. They revert to normal non-ABS. You would spend a fortune fixing them, but he wants to know, can he continue to drive the thing? He does have trouble code. Cylinder number 1 misfire. Well, he changed the cylinder number 2 coil before. He didn't change the 1. Now that coil. Car that's sold, you might as well buy all 4 coils. He's going to need a coil. No big deal. They're cheap enough. He's going to get a number 1 coil and put that on. No big deal. He already changed the other one. Like I say, you should change them all. What the heck. Now, to really get an idea what shape this thing is, we're going to look at live data and we're going to start it up. Starts up nice. Start looking at data. You can see the injector on time 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're all exactly the same. 2.5 milliseconds. You got a car with this kind of mileage on it, it's still got perfect injectors. That's rather amazing. But watch, you see every once in a while they jump. Well, the one that jumps is, guess what? The cylinder number 1. So that shows that the cylinder number 1 has got a problem because it's the one that jumps. You see it jumping. Impressive scan tool, I must say. And as you can see, the total number of emissions relevant fire in a cylinder 1, 25, and all the others are 0. And the total counter of damaging misfire in a cylinder 1 down here is 20. They keep cycling over. So we know the number 1 coil's bad. Big deal. He already changed the other one. So let's take it for a spin, even though we know the number 1 coil needs replacing. We might get a little misfire, but it's not that bad. If you would have told me this car had 250,000 miles and blindfolded me, I wouldn't think it does. Now, I'm listening relatively quiet for an Econobox car. I can hear tiny amounts of wheel bearing wear in the front wheels. Hey, it's got 250,000 miles, but the tires aren't wearing out yet. Eventually, you'd have to replace the front wheel bearings, but really, 250,000 miles and they're still going good enough. It's not bad. Now, as I said, the 2-liter and the 2.5-liter engines, they had problems with the engines burning up, blowing on a highway and freezing up, and using excessive amounts of oil. They wanted more horsepower than this 1.8-liter. But the 1.8-liter still has enough horsepower if you ask me. It's got 145 horsepower, 5 less than 150, in a car that doesn't weigh all that much. So we'll take it to the little drag strip here. Brakes still work fine. Somebody's coming here, so we'll wait a second. Corner's fine. We'll come to a stop. Make sure there's nobody behind us to rear end us. And on your mark, we're going to take it out of eco mode. And here we go. Not a race car, but now it hesitated quite a bit there because the ignition coil, the number one ignition coil, it wasn't firing, and then it made it hesitate. So we can't really road test it that well with a bad ignition coil. It shifts good and everything, but with that ignition coil, it's not gonna get a good full load. You would have to change that out before you do a good test. So we'll see if we can find one. So we got a car quest. No coil. Number one's the front one. So I found a 10 millimeter. Again, the number one is in the front of the engine where the belt is. Take that one off. Looks the same. We'll see if it works the same. Click that back on. Clicked on good. You can see how easy it is to do. Around it goes. There we go. And we'll reset the computer. Do that, you turn the key on, the car isn't running. Let's out back up. We'll do the diagnosis. It's going to have the codes because you didn't reset them. You say, we'll look at trouble codes. They'll still be there because we haven't erased it. Cylinder number one misfire, so we will erase codes. Ignition on, engine off, yes. Okay, it erased the codes. So now we'll start her up. And as you can see, the check engine light is off. And we will now look at live data. See what's happening. And as you can see now, the damaging misfire in cylinder number one is 0. So that closes this case. And where do we find a Kia that went 250,000 miles? The original owner doesn't burn oil. Still runs good. Yeah, it needed an ignition coil. Now 2 of the 4 have been replaced. Like I say, you're probably better just replacing them all at one point in time. But it's highway mileage. He's a very conservative driver. Gets 40 miles a gallon in this thing. Hey, heed my warning. It has to do with a 1.8 liter engine. I would not touch one of these things that had the 2 liter, especially a 2015, because those are the ones that all the engines are blowing up on. These 1.8 engines are smaller. They still got 145 horsepower, but they don't blow up like the other ones did. Maybe they should have just stuck to smaller cars and not tried to make them bigger and faster. They did a good job with the small ones. They got bigger, and then boom, this been a really dependable car for what he paid for it, and it's still probably got a ton of life left in it. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.